Thanks for the support as a channel member, James Maples. Oh, I warned you a couple of days ago, boys and girls, that illness was setting in, the throat was going. I'm actually recording this on Friday, about 6 hours after the last video. Across the last 3 videos, you might be able to hear a decline in my voice. I thought I'd better get them all in now, because this thing's not sticking around. The plan at the moment is still for Non-League to Legend to start on Tuesday at 4 o'clock. We do need me to have a voice at that point, though, so fingers crossed. Kev's voice, we need you on Tuesday and tomorrow for 5 years in the future. In the meantime, let's try and win the Premier League. Hello and welcome to part 19, the final episode of Rebuilding Arsenal. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we have our final 2 games of the season. We're away against Leicester. We're at home against Leeds. We won our in-betweeny game against Norwich 4-1. The league table, as you can see, it's pretty unlikely that we're going to backdoor our way to a Premier League title here, even if Manchester United, 4 points ahead of us, completely bottle their final 2 games. Man City are 3 points behind them with a game in hand and could just replace them. So we need Man United and Man City to bottle their final few games. In addition to that, Liverpool are on the same number of points we are and have a much better goal difference. So we also need them to drop some points. So to summarise, we need Manchester United to get no more than 1 point from their final 2 games. We need Manchester City to get no more than 4 points from their final 3 games. We need Liverpool to at least drop some points, and we need to win both of our final 2 games. It's a pretty unlikely scenario, but stranger things have happened in my history of playing Football Manager. So I guess we'll just wait and see. It might all be over by the halfway point of the episode, or something insane might happen. Either way, should be a lot of fun. This is the team we're sending out there for the game against Leicester. We've got Onana in goal, a back 4 of Tierney, Zagadou, Skriniar and Tomiyasu, Odegaard and Kessie in midfield, Gnabry, Smith Rowe and Saka, then behind Lautaro Martinez, who is playing up front for us as usual. Worry not, boys and girls, I've got my honey and lemon tea to hand, so I will force my voice to get through this final episode of the series. I then got a couple of days to rest before recording the 5 years in the future on Monday, which will be out at 4 o'clock Monday for you. And then the voice goes back into cold storage, ready for Tuesday when, Tuesday's going to be an exciting day. Fingers crossed, 2 episodes of Non-League Legend coming for you. Episode 1 will be at 4 o'clock in the usual slot. We're starting with Leamington. It's going to be great. And then if you hit 5,000 likes on that video, which you always do, so you will hit 5,000 likes, we'll get another episode later that evening, just as soon as we hit that 5,000 like target. So 2 episodes for you, hopefully on Tuesday. Lautaro Martinez is excited for the new series because he's trying to end this one with a bang. Oh, what a wonderful few days it could be if we win the league and then get Non-League Legend up and running with 2 episodes on Tuesday. What more could you possibly ask for? Get some honey and lemon tea down, you Kev, for goodness sake. We've got to make sure this can happen. Oh, disgusting. I mean, every part of it's horrible. Lemon juice, nasty. Honey, tea. It better fix me. That's all I'm saying. It better fix me because it's nasty. We are ahead there. I think Manchester City just went ahead in their game as well, so that's not ideal. Remember, they're the one team that we can afford to win a game because they're a little bit further back. In fact, Liverpool could win 1 game as well. Ideally, we'd like everyone else to lose today while we pick up 3 points and make it really interesting going into the last day. But City winning today is not a disaster. It's only a disaster if they win all 3, I think. Yeah, that works. Even if they win 2, it's a disaster. Is it a disaster if they win 2? I don't think it is. I think they can get away with winning. Kev Maths has always been a little bit of a problem. If you've been around on the channel for a while, you know, basically, I have no idea what's going on. I'm just going to rely on the in-game league table. Gnabry's done really well here on that left-hand side, playing it into Smith Rowe, who can't quite force his chance past the Leicester goalkeeper. But Gnabry's in again here, and it's another good save. I'm assuming it's still Schmeichel in goal for Leicester, and he is playing like a Schmeichel today, and that's not ideal for us. Smith Rowe with the in-swinger finds Skriniar. It's 2-0, a 7th goal of the season for Skriniar. 2-0 to us. We need to start checking in on some of these other scores. It's all well and good winning our games, but if Manchester United are going to spoil the dream, because they're 4 points ahead of us, then that's not ideal. So as it stands right now, United drawing away against Southampton, Liverpool drawing away against Newcastle, and Manchester City, can't find them. But we're less worried about them today. They're a problem for another day. At the moment, priority one, if we get nothing else out of today, we want Manchester United to not win. Not Lerik Fernandez, he's off of non-league to ledge or home years ago. There's a blaster in the past. Bruno Fernandes, I hear amongst the general public, he's slightly more famous than Lerik. Don't understand. Bruno Fernandes has gone off injured for Manchester United. Their 30-goal-a-season playmaker. So, I don't know, does that give us a little bit of a chance? Fingers crossed it does. Gnabry heading clear, but Castagna is there to collect things up for Leicester. How fitting as well that the final episode of this year's beta save is against the team that we enjoyed so much in last year's beta. Leicester was a great save. If you're looking for something else to watch over the course of the day while you wait for non-league to legend, you could do a lot worse if you haven't already seen it than going back and watching last year's beta save with Leicester. It was a lot of fun. We ended up with a Football Manager super team by the end of that save. I won't spoil how it ended. None of you will spoil it either in the comments. We just conceded a goal. I've talked about them too positively, and now they're getting themselves back into the game. I'm trying to see where Manchester City are. I can't see if they're playing. They must be playing because we got a goal notification from them before when they went ahead. I assume they're still winning. I would expect any goals in any of the games will come up in this bottom left-hand corner as a notification. It's the reason I have my face in the bottom right corner, so you can see everything going on down in the bottom left. Tomiyasu is in a crossing position, finds Gnabry. I thought he'd scored there. It looked like it had gone over, but then it looked like the net was bulging. But it's obviously gone over the top, hit the top of the net, and made it ripple a little bit from there. Yeah, way back when, I always used to have my face down on the left, but they then started putting goal alerts down. In fact, shall we pause for a moment and just check what's going on? Where are Manchester City? Am I just being blind? Oh, there you go. City are winning 1-0 at home against Brighton. Liverpool, United, both still losing away from home. So this is what the league table looks like now. As it stands, we're 2 points behind Man United with one game to go for each of us. City in between us on points and with an extra game to play. So City could still be a real problem here, but us winning and United not winning would be a perfect Saturday. We do need to keep an eye on Manchester City though, but I'll allow Manchester City to win today if it guarantees Manchester United won't. We need Southampton to do us a solid here, and Newcastle need to beat Liverpool as well. Right, 20 minutes to go. The other thing, of course, we need to do is make sure we don't mess things up in this game. So let's make sure our team stay nice and fresh. We've got Belotti and Luis Diaz coming on just to keep the energy in there, going up front. And it's still 0-0 in these two games. If we could get a Brighton goal here, it could be just the most perfect day. Barella's been sent off for Liverpool, so they're down to 10 men. Hopefully that means Liverpool are out of contention now. I mean, it doesn't. In fact, they might be. I think if it stays like this, Liverpool can't win the league. It becomes a 3-horse race if everything stays as it is. But of course, it can all be ruined with a Manchester United goal. Newcastle have scored against Liverpool. Oh, but we've conceded, and it's Kelechi Iheanacho, a man who I wrote off so early in the series last year, has potentially ruined everything. Everything else is going our way. But now we're messing up our side of the bargain. Oh, come on, boys. We need a late winner here. Oh, Manchester United have gone ahead in their game as well. Just as Liverpool concede and we get a little sliver of hope, everything comes collapsing down behind us. We're drawing. United are winning. They're as good as champions as it stands right now because they'll be 3 points ahead of City. Although City have a game in hand, look at the difference in goal difference. Manchester United with a win, effectively champions, and City will be the only team that can stop them, regardless of what happens in our game. I mean, we're going to concede anyway, I imagine. We lose this game, and Captain Kieran Tierney heading clear off the line. But, we haven't quite got that cutting edge, have we, that you need to win a Premier League. James Maddison there, punishing me for leaving him on the bench throughout an entire save last year. And we can't win the league. We've bottled it. But I don't think it matters because I think Manchester United have won anyway. They ended up winning 2-0. Of course, Mason Greenwood scored. So United, as good as champions, the only team that can catch them is Manchester City. But to have any chance going to that final game of the season, they need to win their game in hand about 35-0. which seems unlikely. Well, Manchester City won their in-betweeny game 3-0 over Brentford, not quite 35-0 though, so it is still pretty much a foregone conclusion that Man United are going to win the league today unless there's some major goal swings. I mean major goal swings in those two matches. We, of course, can't win anything, so we're putting a bit of a rotated team out to show you some of the fringe players that I've gotten used to over the course of the save, but you tend not to see very much of because they don't really play in the bigger matches, because you see the bigger matches where the real first teamers play. But let's show you some of the fringe boys to show just how good some of them got. Ramsdale in goal, a back four of Tierney, Gabriel, Fofana and Pereira. Bellingham and Sambi Lokonga in midfield. You've not seen him for about a year and a half. Diaz, De Ketelaere and Klozek in midfield, and then Belotti up front. Got to end the series with Belotti in the side. Love that man, even though he's not really done the business in this save. But fingers crossed he'll do the business for us today and just guarantee us a third place finish. I think ultimately we've got to be pleased with the fact that we've qualified for the Champions League 2 years in a row. I know we set out to prove that I was better than Arsene Wenger. It turns out I probably am not better than Arsene Wenger, but I think most Arsenal fans would be pretty happy to get themselves in a situation where they qualified for the Champions League this year and next year, won an FA Cup along the way, were very much back in the title race both seasons, Champions League semi-final. There's a lot of positives that have come out of this save, and I do hope that when I show you the 5 years in the future that'll be coming up tomorrow, I'll holiday forward 5 years over the weekend. I'm recording this Friday. I know it's Sunday for you and the weekend's nearly over. It's a horrible thing. What a horrible thing to say Sunday morning. Yeah, I'll be holidaying forward 5 years over the weekend, show you where Arsenal have got to. And I've got to believe with the incredible young talent that we've assembled at this club, that there's going to be a Premier League win and a Champions League win coming up in that next 5 years. I just hope the team doesn't get disassembled and Arsenal fall back down to mid-table. I hope we've put them back where they belong. Very much part of the new Big Four that's returned to the Premier League. It doesn't involve Spurs or Chelsea. What a wonderful thing that is. The best team in London right here. It's basically, we are the sole representatives of London in that Big Four. Bunch of Northerners and us. Quite right too. I thought we were 2-0 up. That goal was just up. We're 1-0 up 14 minutes into the game. We just need to make sure that we outscore or outperform Liverpool today. And it looks like we're going to. This team are playing really quite well. It looks like they're all enjoying the opportunity to have a match. It's almost as if these guys are fresh because they've not played as much football this year. Although Luis Diaz has played quite a lot. We probably could have gone even more fringe to replace him in the team. But alas, I have not. The problem is a lot of them aren't in the Premier League squad. Some of the really young players, if they've been here less than 2 years, even if they're young, they still have to be registered and we just couldn't fit them in. So maybe a slightly questionable transfer policy, but I think it will stand us good stead in the long term. Belotti's in, Belotti scores. He's already had one disallowed. The referee, I think, is having a look at this one as well. Just let him have a goal, for goodness sake, ref. Come on now. He looked onside that time. Is the goal given? I think the goal is given. So Bellingham to Lokonga, back to Bellingham again. Diaz nods down for Belotti, who did keep himself onside. 17 minutes in. It's 3-0 to Arsenal now. Manchester City 2-1 up in their game. All this time I've been talking about needing a big goal swing. Of course, if you City win and United don't, they win the league. I don't understand how maths works. KEV maths at it again for you there, boys and girls. It hadn't even occurred to me there was a scenario where Manchester United don't win. As it stands right now, City are top of the Premier League. Luis Diaz makes it 4. Can we get bonus points if we score loads of goals today and get ourselves back into this title race? That'd be lovely. Where's that honey and lemon tea? My voice is... I don't know if the voice is going to make it to the end of the episode. We might just have to sit here quietly and appreciate the good football. Come on, Kev. Keep that throat lubricated. We're fine. United's still not getting back in. Imagine if City win the league. They've come from nowhere. They're going to win the Champions League as well. Manchester City are really quite good, aren't they? We saw when we played them just how good their players are. They're too good. If you want a really easy time in FM22, play as Manchester City and just make sure you sign a striker. They went for Erling Haaland. I hear he's quite a good one. Ricardo playing it back to Fofana and then Pereira again. Back to Fofana again. It's the Leicester connection on the right-hand side of our defence. Fofana, of course, having to head back to a now relegated Leicester in the summer. And I imagine he's not ever going to go anywhere near Leicester again. If he doesn't sign for Arsenal permanently under the new manager, he's going somewhere else, surely. I can't imagine him playing in the Championship after he slotted so well into our back four as a title contender and Champions League team. Belotti's got his second of the game. It's lovely to see Belotti finally starting to look like the man we all know and love right at the end of the save, and it doesn't really matter. 5-0 now. Where are Leeds? 13th in the league. We've absolutely battered them today. It's now 2-2 between, is it Brighton and Man City? I didn't quite see who they were playing. United still drawing in their game. Liverpool 2-0 up over Leicester, but that doesn't really matter. Liverpool, if we win, can't go above us. They can't be caught. They're just going to settle nicely into that 4th place finish, which I'm sure they'll be much more disappointed with than we are for finishing 3rd. City now 3-2 up over Sheffield United. Man United still not ahead against Brentford. We saw in the last game that they're no strangers to really, really late goals. Fergie time seems like it's back at Manchester United under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I'd sack him if they managed to not win the league from the situation they've had themselves in this year, with Greenwood scoring 1,000 goals. He gets sacked for that for me, because there's no excuses for not winning the league. I win the league with this Man United team. Solskjaer should as well. 0-0 still between Manchester United and Brentford. City still ahead against Sheffield United. Liverpool now 3-0 up against 4-0 up against Leicester. Mo Salah scoring all 4 goals. He wants a late surge towards Golden Boots and Player of the Year stuff, clearly. And I haven't been tracking how he's been getting on over the course of the season. I imagine if it's anything like real life, he's already probably pretty close to having both of them. 20 minutes to go. We've made a couple of changes. Smith Rowe and Kessie on. United still bottling it. It's still 0-0 between United and Brentford. City still top of the league as we go into the final 10 minutes of the season. We will take Belotti off. Lautaro Martinez on for one last time. This is the last we're going to see of him probably on FM22. So I can't imagine I'm going to get to sign him for anybody else anytime soon. Manchester United are actually going to bottle this, aren't they? Leicester have just got a consolation goal against Liverpool. We're into the final couple of minutes of the season, and City is still looking good to win the league. 5-1 now to Liverpool in their game, but it still doesn't really matter. We've got 5 here against Leeds. We can all score 5. You think you fancy, you're not. But we can do it too. I think Man United have bottled that, which is quite a spectacular final day of the season turnaround. They have. Only imagine the boos at the end of that match. Not able to beat a Brentford team who, to be fair, finished 8th, but they're still only Brentford. Manchester United finishing 2nd, only 4 points ahead of us. Manchester City have won the Premier League. Apparently signing Erling Haaland, quite handy when it comes to trying to become Premier League champions. We will go again next year. We won't, but a new manager will. And I think Arsenal have got a very good chance. We'll find out tomorrow, I guess. For now, I guess it's time for me to retire. I wonder who's going to take over next. If you've enjoyed that, and if you've enjoyed the series, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. If you don't usually leave a thumbs up, today would be a nice day to leave a bonus one for the fact I've forced this out with almost no voice. Come on. Encourage my poor behaviour. Subscribe to the channel for the start of Non-League to Legend on Tuesday, 4 PM. It is going to be the best series that's ever been on the channel. I've even bought a tie. Thank you very much for watching.